हाय गाइस, वेलकम बैक टू माय चैनल। आई एम प्रतीक फ्रॉम कंट्री साइड इंडिया और आज मैं आपके साथ एक नया एक्सपीरियंस शेयर करने वाला हूँ। सो गाइस, आमतौर पे मैं आपके साथ अपनी ट्रैवल की स्टोरीज शेयर करता हूँ, लेकिन जब मैं ट्रैवल करता हूँ तो उस समय जिन ट्रैवलर से मैं मिलता हूँ उनसे भी बहुत कम समय में हमें बहुत कुछ सीखने को मिलता है। थ्रू कॉन्वर्जेशन वो अपने एक्सपीरियंसेस शेयर करते हैं और जानने को मिलता है कि कैसे उनका पर्सपेक्टिव हमसे अलग है और कैसे हम भी अपने पर्सपेक्टिव को थोड़ा चेंज कर सकते हैं। तो ऐसे बहुत ज़्यादा लर्निंग लेसन्स मिलते रहते हैं अदर फेलो ट्रैवलर्स से। तो आज मैं आपके साथ ऐसा ही एक ट्रैवलिंग एक्सपीरियंस शेयर करूंगा किसी और ट्रैवलर का। सो आई होप यू एंजॉय दिस वीडियो।
I'm Sophie. I'm 16. I've lived in India for 5 years now, and I'm originally from the US.
Which are the different places where you have traveled in India?
We've traveled all over the first 2 years here. It was pretty much all the traveling we did was inside of India for any weekend we got. So I'm not sure exactly where, but recently we've been to Rajasthan again, to Jaisalmer and Jodhpur and Assam and down to Goa and Kerala.
Which are some things which you learned through traveling in India?
I feel like just getting to know the difference between, North Indian culture and South Indian culture has been pretty cool, because I feel like there's a lot of differences with, obviously languages and food and how social people are and open people are. And then of course obviously seeing very physical things such as the way people look or how people interact with one another and just the environment.
Which were your awful experiences while traveling in India?
I think as a foreigner and as a female in India, it can be uncomfortable traveling just because, sometimes you can't. I look different than people here. And so people will be very interested in that, or I can't blame them. It's like if I had never seen that, I would also be interested. But it gets a little bit uncomfortable when you're like a female and you have people asking you all the time for photos and stuff like that. So it just that part hasn't been all positive.
How growing up in India shaped your life?
I think as a whole, growing up in the international community here and in India particularly, it's been amazing just because I've grown up with friends that speak all different languages and are all different cultures from different continents and different countries. I don't have a single friend from the same country, which is pretty amazing. And I've grown up celebrating different religious holidays with different friends of mine. And just like experiencing India as a whole with people that have also grown up the same way that I have has been pretty incredible, just because this country is so diverse. So it's just really cool to see all the differences here.
What are the challenges you face while interacting with your friends from US, since they come from a unicultural country?
Yeah.
Meanwhile, you were brought up in a multicultural country.
I think it's definitely something that I've struggled with going back, just because I feel like I've experienced a lot more in terms of the world that a lot of my other friends have, where they've lived in one country and maybe haven't even been outside of the United States. So experiencing different cultures and different types of people and getting to know different social relationships, where I feel like I just know more than the average person in terms of different culture in the US, which is something I have to like check myself on, just because I don't want to sound like I'm coming from a place of privilege growing up in a different place when they can't relate to it. So that's something that's definitely been difficult for me to manage, especially just because, you grow up completely different and in a different kind of lifestyle than you would in the US.
And you must have loved that part, like where you are studying with different people and
Yeah.
all of them come from different backgrounds.
Yeah, it's definitely difficult just because, you have friends, you make really close friends, and they leave quite a bit because everyone travels the world. which is incredible because, I have friends all throughout the world in different continents. But at the same time, it's difficult because you feel like every time you really get close to someone leaves and it just disrupts everything. And so it's hard to keep really strong and permanent friendships here.
Yeah, but it makes you more strong. Like as a human being, it makes you more strong, right?
Yeah, I think the experience of getting to know a ton of different types of people, I wouldn't trade it for anything else. But it's just difficult to manage that as well because you lose people quite a bit.
What do you think are the perks of having a diverse class?
I think it's the best way to learn, if I'm honest, just because I've grown up differently than all of my friends have, because we've grown up in different countries with different religions and, different family environments. And so it's just, there's nothing that can top growing up with different kinds of people, I would say. Because I've learned about African culture and I've learned about, Middle Eastern culture and different religions and, Islam and Judaism and things that I had never, and Buddhism, like I had never really known that much about until I came here, and to experience it through people that I'm really close with and for them to be so open and sharing their own cultures with me has just been incredible for someone coming from the US who, everyone is pretty similar to you in terms of the way that you grow up, where there's not, it's just, yeah, it's incredible.
Can you share with us some life lessons which you realized through interacting with people while traveling?
I think there's a lot that I've learned. One being, as a foreigner in India, more something that I've taught myself is to assume positive intent with people, just like as I was saying before, where it gets uncomfortable sometimes when people are trying to take photos of you and trying to get your attention and grabbing you, and sometimes that is a lot, but then you have to think about why that's happening and just to think, okay, well, there's everything that you may find uncomfortable at first, then to just take a step back and look at cultural differences, which is something I feel like I've gotten a lot better at, which then helps you learn about other people's culture and helps you.
Which Indian cuisines do you savor the most?
Oh, different foods that I love here. Obviously, I'm gonna sound like such a white American, but I love like garlic butter naan. I'm a vegetarian, so I really like paneer tikka masala. And then like Indian street food, papdi chaat, and yeah, I love Indian street food for sure. And just tea here, I'm a big tea person, so being able to experience tea culture and, for instance, go down to or go up to places like Assam or to go to Kerala and see the whole cultivation process and how tea and the culture of tea in India is pretty cool.
What do you think is the best way to explore India for travelers?
I would say that a lot of the times people are coming to India to learn about Indian culture, and if they're not and they're just coming here for a vacation, then that's ignorant, and they should come and they should learn about the people and the environment here because India is wonderful. And I think just trying to include foreigners in that, opposed to trying to like talk to them or maybe saying hi. Like I feel like for foreigners to really be integrated with India and what it's like local life here would just be great for foreigners as well, because I don't know, I just love India, and I feel like the more that I've grown up here and the more things like village walks where I get to talk to locals, and that's where I've really learned the most. So I feel like starting conversations with foreigners about India, not about where they're from, would really be a good lesson to both Indians and to foreigners.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Thank you.
Thanks.